guys, I'm back, and today I'm going to review The Web of Fear. This is from 1968 and it's a six-parter, and it features Patrick Troughton as the Doctor, and this is a sequel to The Abominable Snowman, and it's set 40 years later, and it's just come out on Blu-ray in a special edition, and they've animated episode 3 that was missing before. The Web of Fear stars Patrick Troughton as the Doctor, Frazer Hines as Jamie, Deborah Watling as Victoria. It introduces Nicholas Courtney as Colonel Lethbridge Stewart, who will later become the Brigadier. Jack Watling returns as Professor Travers. Even John Levine's in it, but he plays a Yeti instead of playing Benton. This isn't the first time that Nicholas Courtney was in Doctor Who. He also played a character in Dalek Master Plan. But this story doesn't use UNIT. Instead it just uses the army. But it sort of lays the foundations for UNIT. It's directed by the great Douglas Camfield, who did some of the best Doctor Who's ever, such as The Seeds of Doom. It's regarded as a classic. The Yeti would return in a cameo in The Five Doctors. Troughton was on holiday for episode 2, so he's not in episode 2. The Great Intelligence would return in The Showman, the 2012 Christmas special. This story was recovered in 2013. They found episodes 2, 4, 5 and 6. So these are the two Blu-rays and DVDs that The Web of Fear's on. This one was the first one that just used telesnaps for episode 3. And this is the new one on Blu-ray, a fully animated episode 3. It's a great story, but I do have a few issues with it. Episode 1 I've seen a lot because it was the only episode that remained. So I've seen that episode loads of times. So when I started watching this Blu-ray story for the first time, I was looking forward to the next episode 2. But unfortunately the Doctor's not in it. And it's a slow episode as well. It definitely proves that Patrick Troughton made a massive impression with these stories, and when he's not in an episode it doesn't half show. So I thought episode 2 was slow. Episode 3, I was looking forward to watching the animation because I just recently watched The Power of the Daleks and I thought the animation was excellent on that. But the animation on this is terrible. Really jerky. The arms are going like that.
And this will explode in 60 seconds.
Yes, just push the trolley down the gradient and that should give you enough time to get clear.
Hey, that bloody animation was terrible. Was I watching Doctor Who or fucking Thunderbirds? Soft as shit. And the faces, they're not very recognisable. And Victoria looks terrible in animation. So even though the animation's terrible, it's still 100 times better than just watching telesnaps. So instead of just watching pictures, you can actually find out what's going on, even though the animation was poor in this one. I hope when Evil of the Daleks comes out later this year, I hope the animation's as good as it was in Power of the Daleks, and not like this rubbish. So I wasn't impressed with the first half, but the second half, from episode 4 onwards, massive improvement. Episode 4 is probably the best episode. There's a massive action sequence where the Colonel Lethbridge Stewart's shooting the Yetis and the army's throwing grenades on them, and it lasts for ages, and they eventually get kind of massacred really. The Colonel gets away and that's about it. But great sequence, and it shows how great the director Douglas Camfield is. And episode 5 and 6 are great as well. You see the Great Intelligence in episodes 5 and 6. And the voice, it's really creepy.
Thank you, Doctor, for being so cooperative.
The Doctor creates a device that he puts into one of the Yetis, and so he controls a friendly Yeti. That was a good idea. In episode 6 it's even got like this soldier that dies. The Great Intelligence goes inside the body. In some ways he's actually a zombie because he's a dead soldier, but the intelligence has gone inside of him. So I thought that was really eerie for the time. But the Yeti do look a hell of a lot better in this story than they do in The Abominable Snowman. Them first bloody Yeti, they look like bloody wombles. Was it Uncle fucking Bulgaria? And the sets do look excellent, although they use like the same parts used a lot. Troughton's on form as well. I used to think that his Doctor would be a bit too silly for my taste, but he isn't really. He's quite serious a lot. He's a lot more serious than doctors like Matt Smith or David Tennant.
But tell me, Doctor, this intelligence, exactly what is it?
Well, I wish I could give you a precise answer.
And miles better than Jodie Whittaker. And it's a good TARDIS time. I thought Victoria was good for once. And Jamie, he's fun as well. He works great with Patrick Troughton. Hey, I managed to sing up bloody Jamie's kilt. I could say 2 bloody big Scotch eggs hanging.
Oh my God.
You said what I said.
Nicholas Courtney was great. He's classed as a colonel in this, not a brigadier. He gets promoted in The Invasion, the next story that he's in. Unfortunately, the first time you see him's in episode 3 that's animated. So it's all jerky actions and stuff. So that spoils the impact of his first appearance. But like I say, in episode 4, he's great in that. And there's a great scene where he's like depressed because all his men got killed. And he's also open-minded. Like he believes that there's a possibility that the Doctor's TARDIS could exist. So he's not closed-minded. And it's like foreshadowing what he'll be like when he's head of unit. So in this story they just use an ordinary army and it's like old school accents. The army that they taught really old-fashioned.
We're doomed.
Don't be quiet, Frazer.
We're entombed.
The character of Evans, he's funny as well. He's like a cowardly soldier. So I thought he was really funny. They use some eerie stock music as well. So that's well used, especially when you first say the Yeti and it activates in episode 1. The character of Travers, he's good as well, because it's 40 years on from the Abominable Snowman, and he's like aged, he's like an old man in this. So I thought that was good, the use of time travel, having a 40-year into the future from his last story. I thought that was good. So overall I thought this was excellent. It proves how good the Troughton era is. It's a great story, it's just let down with the poor animation in episode 3. In episode 2 with Troughton not being in it, that's like a slow episode. But the other episodes are excellent. Sort of like the second half makes up for the disappointing first half. And episode 4's great action in episode 4. And 5 and 6 are good as well with great intelligence. So overall, out of 10, I'd give this one 9. 9 out of 10. It only gets a point off because of the poor animation in episode 3. So what do you think, Bones? Did you like it? Top marks, Phil. Troughton's a funny bugger. Okay, everybody, bye. See you next time. Like, subscribe and share. Bye.
Someone warned you that if your mummy and daddy are scared, you just get them to hold your hand. Here you go again. I just want to go. I'll see you soon. Bye.